Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
It's game time, Detroit, and you found the right place for the latest Detroit Lions news. So hop on in and take the ride to Super Bowl 60 with Rockhound Detroit Lions. Join Will Rock, Eric Rintamaki, and Riley O'Brien today on the Rise and Grind Morning Show. Good morning.
Pressured by Hutchinson, he goes down again.
All right, good morning, man. Victory Tuesday this morning. Your Detroit Lions took down the beatdown last night on the Baltimore Ravens. What a football game. I mean, a massive display there in the second half of what a defense can do when they actually just play the game the way it's designed to be played. A beautiful sight. We're going to recap it today. It's going to be movie day. We're going to get into media sessions last night from the Detroit Lions. We're going to hear what all the players had to say. Eric's waiting for me to roll to the next scene, and we're going to get some thoughts in. We're going to open up phone lines like ASAP. I want to hear what you guys have to say. What were you doing last night for the game? Let us know in the comments below. Where were you at? Where were you when you witnessed the Detroit Lions beatdown of the Baltimore Ravens? Good morning, Eric.
Morning. I was right here in this seat, screaming my butt off.
Oh, it was, yeah, it was kind of nutty last night, man. It was tight there for a moment. It was back and forth. There's a couple of stops on, both sides, and then they woke up. It's like they just, all at once, they just woke up. I didn't get a chance, obviously, to rewatch any tape, and there's really not much for information out there, it seems like PFF. I still haven't noticed if PFF has put anything out. I got a quick question for everybody in the chat. Did Al-Qadim Muhammad get a media session last night? Because I didn't see it. I have not seen it yet. I literally have not seen it anywhere. So I don't know if it's inside another media session like they sometimes do. But that would be an epic failure not to put Muhammad up on the mic last night. Player of the game. Amazing game. I mean, some of the best stat lines I've seen from a Lions player in the last 5 seasons in any single game. He pitched a complete game last night, man. He really did. Matter of fact, I took a picture of some stat lines. Let me see if I still have it. Oh, maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't take a picture. But here's one of the wildest stats of the night from Justin Rogers. The Ravens had given up 200 yards of rushing just 9 times in franchise history. Detroit's 224 are the most allowed in regulation since October of 2012.
Say that one more time.
The Ravens had given up 200 yards of rushing just 9 times in franchise history.
Wow.
And the Detroit Lions' 224 rushing yards, team rushing yards, are the most allowed by any team against the Ravens since October of 2012. So you're going back 23 years, and the Lions have the 9th most. So I wonder who had the other 8 and what they were. I'd be interested to know. Maybe I'll look that up later on today when we're done. Absolutely exhausted. I bet a lot of you are too that stayed up late to watch this game last night. Man, I still can't get over the fact. I still got a question, Eric.
Yeah.
Do we need Z?
Well,
do we need Trey? Do we need Parsons? Hold on, I got a couple more. Do we need Crosby? Do we need Jalen Phillips? Hold on. I know there's more. Who am I forgetting? Oh, wait, let's go back to Crosby, Trey, Garrett. I'd love to have Garrett no matter what. And then let's talk about them 50 times each in a year. Do we need any of them right now? Did we need to spend $40 million on an edge rusher plus, and our league minimum guy has the best stats of one game out of any of them, including Aiden? It's pretty impressive, man. Pretty impressive night for him last night. Like I said in the pregame shows, which there's a couple pregame shows in case you guys are just catching wind of what we're doing this year. You got pregame show on either Saturday or like yesterday was before the game because we had time. It was a night game. It's on Saturday if it's a Sunday game at 1. Do a little pregame show. There is a keys to the game show where I will write a weekly article about the team that we're going up against. I'll give my keys to the game. This time it was defense. I didn't get my offense out, so I'm not going to put it out now. But that's how we roll during the week. So keys to the game will be towards the end of the week. Pregame show Saturday before or the day before, or if it's a night game, it'll be that day. So there's a lot of good information in there. That's where you can see if I know anything about what I'm talking about, because that's where I'm putting it all on the line, man. That's where I think, this is going to happen in the game. That's going to happen in the game, and yada, yada, yada. My call was 35-24 for this game. 38-24. It doesn't get any closer than that. That might be the closest call I think I've ever had, getting one half of the score right. Had it not been for that stupid field goal, it would have been spot on.
Oh, dude. Imagine if Jake Bates would have made that 67-yarder.
I would have been happy about that.
That is the one thing I wish would have happened last night. Just it would have gotten this monkey off my back of Justin Tucker kicking the 64-yarder to set the record at Ford Field that doinked off it. Oh, and then if it would have doinked off the crossbar and went in, that would have made it even more spectacular. That would have just, oh God, would have been icing on the cake. Would have been fantastic.
Absolutely. I guess what they say is, and I wouldn't know this firsthand. I only know this from people. Apparently it's, don't let this game fool you. The Lions still need an elite pass rusher.
Well, really?
Unfortunately, there are no elite pass rushers available. And even if they were all available, they would still not be on this team. Because it's not possible financially. And I'm sick of beating that horse to death. Like, this horse has been reincarnated at least 1,000 times now in the last 365 days, and it gets put down every time. Every time. Dude, just wave the white flag already. You lost.
Yeah.
You lost.
Well, I got something surprising for everyone. I was talking to you before we got on here and talking about sack leaders. Would it surprise you to know, everyone out there in YouTube land, that the Lions have more sacks through 3 games than the Green Bay Packers and Micah Parsons? If I told you last night going into that game that after this game, we're going to have more sacks on the year than Green Bay and Micah Parsons, and Al-Qadim Muhammad in one game is going to have more sacks than Micah Parsons had in 3. In one game.
I would have said that you definitely fell off somewhere. Yeah. You fell off a mountain in Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly what I said, though, in the pregame shows and the keys to the game. The reason I keep bringing that up is so that I throw a reference out there so that people know when I say, I said this, so that there's a reference to go with it. It's just like sourcing your information. My eyes are bleeding this morning. What it feels like. I said you play the natural defense, sacks come. You play the natural defense, big plays come. You could go clip it probably 100 times last week where I said just contain, play your game, don't get too deep on Lamar. It will come. And it did. Now, there was a couple of plays last night. Clearly, they were going after Lamar, and it was at the right time. But what changed, and I know this for a fact, I just can't wait to get my hands on the tape today, is they finally used that spy that we were talking about. And they finally did it, and it showed up. It showed up for the first time on film. Or, I'm sorry, during the game last night. And how effective that was. And the reason why it's effective is what happened to Lamar, Eric. I mean, he's sitting there in the middle. He's got wide open field in the front of him. So the defense takes a wide arc around him, and the front opens up. That both A's and B gaps are wide open. He has clear daylight to run, but who's standing in front of him?
Our spy.
Alex Anzalone. And Alex is charging him. And at the same time, when Lamar goes to take a step back, there's Muhammad. That's why the spy works. And it only works if your DBs are able to hold. Now, one of the things that happened in last night's game that I expected is it was based on the passing charts. It's based on, where Lamar likes to throw the football. And it's based on what the Lions don't do well yet this season is covering tight ends. I said the tight ends are going to beat us. That's okay. I'd rather let the tight ends beat us than Lamar and Henry. I don't want them beating us at all. And that was the game plan that Shepard showed up with. That was the game plan he showed, and it was a perfect game plan. And I'm not just saying that because, I was speaking about it beforehand. I'm saying that because it works. It works against guys like this, man. It works against offenses like this. Had they done this against against the Commanders, we're talking a different ball game. May not have had the horses in the stall to be able to win that game. Might not have had enough, but it would have been a better game. And who knows, a stop or two that changes the score, and you might eke out a win there, but long shot beating the Eagles. Long shot going to the Super Bowl still last season. So let's not kid ourselves there. 3.5 sacks last night, was it for Al-Qadim Muhammad, or was it 2.5?
Well, I see 2.5 from the Lions presser, and then on StatMuse they have him at 3.5. So I don't know if he got credited for one that 3.5 sacks. That's right up there with the best that Hutch has ever done.
I mean, Hutch had like what 5.5 against, I think it was the Bucks.
Oh,
right?
was it?
Yeah, I think it was
Oh.
5. But I mean, you have to realize too that, and I'm not saying that the Ravens' offensive line is any better than anyone else's, but they had their ones in last night, and the Bucks did not. They were missing both guys on the right side of that on that offense. So it's I think it's totally different when it's totally different when
So since we're talking about the Detroit Lions defense right now and Calvin Shepard and all these guys, I want to bring a little something up. Last year, the Detroit Lions defense gave up under your magic number of points last year. 20, correct?
I'm sorry, say that all again.
So last year, the Detroit Lions defense gave up less per game than your magic number.
Well, they were close. They were actually 20.1.
Yeah, but right around there.
Yeah.
This year, if I told you
we're close.
Well, not really. The Lions are 23rd this year, giving up 26 points per game.
It's only 3 games.
Okay.
It's only 3 games. So I'm going to take the best of this year and the best of last year. The Lions in the last 5 games of last year, I'm sorry, the first 12 games of last year were holding all offenses under 17 points per game through 12 games. It was the last 5 games of the season that they averaged about 26 points per game. So I'm saying that because we've gone up against a very good Packers team and one of the best teams in the league with the Ravens. I'm not worried about it. The fact that we held them both of them. I'm sorry, we held the Ravens under 24 points, right? So we held the Packers under 27 points. I'm good with those games. I'm good with those because we're talking about heavyweights with good offenses. Now, I'm not going to give the Packers that much credit. The Lions played like shit on week 1. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that number will average out over the season. And this defense is for 2 games straight now has played it lights out. You're not going to stop Lamar. I was hoping. I mean, I said that they were going to score 24. I mean, that was the number that I expected them to get. I expected no less than 3 touchdowns and a field goal from the Ravens. I'm good with that. It's just we're going to have some games, hopefully like the Browns, where they put up less than 10. Right? And so then that number is going to go from, all right, so how many points have we had against us so far?
78.
So 78?
Yeah.
Okay, so if the Browns put up 10, divide that by 4, that number now comes down to 22.
Yeah.
So if you go another game and they put up 17, that number is going to get down to 20.
Yeah, and if you look at our next couple of games, this was supposed to be the brutal stretch right here.
Oh, it's coming.
This is supposed to be it. Well, you have the Browns up next. They're 1-2. You have the Bengals at the Bengals. They're 1-2. You have the Kansas City Chiefs. They're 1-2. But then you have the juggernaut of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are 3-0 at home on Monday night. So I'm glad we get them at home and on a Monday night stage once again.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
Yes.
But yes, speaking about the schedule here, the hardest part of this schedule, to your point, really was the Ravens. It began, right? And then you get a let off against the Browns, which they actually have a good defense, so it's never a let off. The Bengals were supposed to be a good team. Then the Chiefs, then the Bucks, and then the Vikings, and then the Commanders, and then the Eagles. That's the schedule. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks, right smack dab in the middle of this schedule, where you're literally taking on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams that should be at the top or second place of their division. And when I say second place, that's like tied for first.
Yeah. So
that's the nuts of this schedule that, it's going to be tough to crack. But right now, I think that we have a little, how do I want to say it? We have an opportunity because the Bengals are down. Chiefs don't look like the Chiefs. The Browns is going to be a tough out because of the defense, but we should still win that game. The Vikings, who knows, could still be without their quarterback. And even if they do have their quarterback, that should still be a win. The Commanders and the Eagles are the next two toughest games after the Bucks. So if you're looking at that from...
Well, the Commanders have been up and down, and so have the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles should have lost that game against the Rams the other day. I think the Rams are the better team if they play again.
So out of those 10 games to start the season, right now the Lions are 2-1. So out of the next 7, let's say we go 5-2. That's 9-3 out of the first 3 quarters of the season. I'm good with that.
I can take that.
I am good with that. Because then you get into the last quarter or the last, several games. The Giants should be a win. We should beat the Packers at home. The Cowboys should be a win. The Rams could be an out. We should beat the Steelers. We should beat the Vikings again. And we may not have to show up for the Bears. Just forfeit that game and stay home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't think there's really much need to worry at this point unless the old IR bug shows up again.
Imagine the slapback if the Lions just forfeited that final game.
Yeah, well,
no, we're resting everyone.
That'd be crazy. just tell the NFL, look, everyone got sick.
Yeah, we don't need that money.
We're all sick. Yeah,
thanks, but no thanks.
Big shout out to Gina this morning. Gina just threw in a $9.99 super chat. Says, "Let's go Lions." Same old Lion non-fans and all the haters.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. F the SOL non-fans and all the haters. Right there with you, Gina. Appreciate you. You guys always support the channel. And then there's another one in there by Attila the Hun, not to be confused with Attila whatever troll accounts. Says, Will, would you consider TA trash like some fans? You know what? Absolutely not. But here's what I'm going to do. Call line is going to be open. We're going to leave it open. We're going to leave it open the rest of the day. So if people want to call in and voice your opinions on what happened last night or specific players, whatever it is, call line's open. You don't have to give us your name. Your phone number stays in the directory. Matter of fact, I don't even know what the phone numbers are the way I've got it set up through Google Voice. I just see my own phone number pop up. I have it routed away where I don't want people's phone numbers. So to answer your question, Attila, the answer is no, right? He's literally 20 games into his career. Maybe a couple more than that, but about 20 games into his career. And I don't know if people are given the credit that's deserved here for him to second coordinator on defense. That's not easy, right? You're a rookie coming in trying to learn one thing. You finally start to get that under wraps, about halfway through last season. The last quarter of the season, you're playing really well. And then now you have to start all over again. And it's not that the scheme has changed completely, but you have to do things differently with the way that Calvin Shepard is operating this defense. So I have to give him a little bit of, grace and time. I'll throw this at you. Let's point at Aiden for a moment. Aiden was the 2nd overall pick. Okay, he had a few sacks his rookie year, but largely his play was not great. I don't care about the sacks. Take the sacks out of it. Go look at the rest of his game tape. He disappeared for a large amount of games, large amount of time in games. Sacks in garbage time don't mean much to me. They shouldn't mean much to you either. It's exciting, sure. You get loud, you get happy, you start celebrating, but what did it do? All right, what did it do? So if you're going to compare, some rookies, yeah, he's not Sauce Gardner in his first year. DJ Reed also got peppered in the first game. I think that these guys need a little bit of time to gel. It's week 3 in a new scheme. Week 4 now.
Well, if you remember what happened last year with Terrion, he had all those flags early on, and then he cleaned it up, and had amazing back end of the season. And if you really watched that game last night, yes, he had a flag last night for pass interference that got them kind of back into the game, right? But after that, did anyone pay attention to what he did after that? He was locked down the rest of the game. No one was catching anything over him the rest of the game. So go back and watch the fourth quarter. You're going to see him get that one flag, and then after that, nothing. Because you know what Hopkins got last night? Hopkins had one catch, one, and that's who he was guarding last night.
And that all happened in the first quarter.
Yep.
Right? I mean, if my memory is correct, that all happened in the first quarter. Here's something else that happened, and I'm going to verify it right now. So when he had that pass interference called, do you remember where that was? Was that the fourth quarter?
Yeah, and it was at the 1 yard line. Because that got them back within 7.
No. They didn't score.
They didn't score?
No, I'm pretty sure they didn't score. That's why I want to find it.
Oh, okay.
That's why I want to find it.
That's the one where they got to
I'm pretty sure Lamar fumbled the ball in that play.
Yeah. No, it was Henry.
Or Henry. No, I thought it was Lamar, and the ball went back to the 20. So we need to find it. I need to go through play by play. We'll do that. Let me just go through that. While I'm looking that up, Eric, just go ahead and I don't know, whatever you find in the chat.
Hey, why don't we talk about this? So far, our leaders on the Detroit Lions passing yards, we have Goff with 761 yards on the season so far. And would it surprise you to know that David Montgomery is our rushing leader at 233 yards? Amon-Ra St. Brown has 237 yards to lead our receiver room. And it's kind of funny because right now, the passing touchdown leader in the NFL right now is Lamar Jackson with 9 passing touchdowns. And guess who's in second place with 7? It's none other than Mr. Jared Goff. And you want to know who's tied with him? Caleb Williams with 7 touchdowns as well. Is Caleb Williams better than Jordan Love? That's the question people are going to have to start asking pretty darn soon. And then rushing touchdown leaders. Mr. Cook for the Buffalo Bills has 4 rushing touchdowns. Jalen Hurts has 4 rushing touchdowns. And Jahmyr Gibbs has 3. So Jahmyr Gibbs is third place in the league. Now, receiving touchdown leaders. Guess who's number 1? Mr. Amon-Ra St. Brown with 4 touchdowns, and then Romaduze and Tucker. Coming up the rear. Now, quarterback rating leaders. This is just like the touchdown leaders. You got Lamar Jackson at 141.8 on the season, and number 2, Jared Goff at 120.2, followed up by Daniel Jones at 111.7.
So I guess I don't have to do the NFL 30 at 30.
Yeah.
I guess you got that handled there.
Yeah, I went through a few things. Points per game. The Ravens are number 1 at 37 points per game on offense. The Colts are number 2 at 34.3, and coming in number 3 are your Detroit Lions at 34.3 points a game. So that's right where we were last year for the entire season, right around 34 points a year per game.
Here's a fun stat for you, since you're bringing up some stat leaders. Amon-Ra St. Brown is
amazing.
Yeah, but I think, well, hold on a sec. Is he third now in Lions history with the most touchdowns?
Oh, really?
Or is he 3 touchdowns away from breaking the record? So Amon-Ra St. Brown's 37 career receiving touchdowns are the third most in Lions franchise history. Third most. That's insane for what that guy's been able to do.
Yeah, he is. Amon-Ra he's having a year. He's on pace for 1,300 yards and 26 touchdowns. So let's see what happens for the rest of the year. But he's having himself a year. And if we want to look at some other stats in total yards rankings, so this is the most yards for each offense. Coming in at number 1 are the Buffalo Bills with 420 yards per game. The Colts are right behind them at 418 per game. And then coming in at number 3 is none other than your Detroit Lions at 394.3 yards per game. Thank you, David Montgomery.
So you said that Amon-Ra is 1,300 yards.
They
on
were
pace?
on pace for 1,300.
So you want to
26
see something that's kind of funny?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Here you go. This is my season-long predictions, right? The Detroit Lions 2025 NFL season overview. So this is where I put in what I thought that the Lions were going to do. Well, I've had us going 4-0 in the first quarter. So I had us beating the Ravens. And I had us with a +6 win margin. What was the score again last night?
38-30.
Huh. +6 win margin. We win by 8. That's a rock's lock. I need the soundbite for that. And then if you go down here and you look at where I thought that our guys were going to finish, I had us at 14-3, the first seed in the NFC. Goff 4,800 plus passing yards, but look at that. St. Brown 1,300 plus yards. He's right on pace to where I thought he would be.
Now, the one that's really surprising me is David Montgomery. So if I told you the rushing leaders for this year, the teams rushing leaders and rushing yards per game, it's the Buffalo Bills at number 1 with 163 yards per game. And then you have the Washington Commanders at 157 per game, the Colts at 153 per game, and then coming in 4th is your Detroit Lions at 149 yards per game. Now, I'm going through all of these rankings, and there's a team or two that you're not hearing them in the top 2, 3, 4, 5 of almost any of these categories. And that's the other NFC North teams. You don't see the Bears up here. I only see the Packers in one stat, and they're right behind us, and that's sack leaders. Yes, the Detroit Lions have 11 sacks on the year, and the Green Bay Packers have 10. So we have more sacks and are tied for second place in sacks in the NFL with Aiden Hutchinson and a bunch of scrubs, according to everyone else.
Bunch of scrubs.
There's one stat.
Scrubs.
There's one category here on this page I'm looking at. Yeah. There's one category I'm looking at where I do have to give the Green Bay Packers their kudos. Opponents' points per game ranking. They are allowing 14.7 points per game, the Packers are. So kudos to you. The Packers have a defense. They're doing really good.
Well, they have a defense until they get figured out, and that's the thing. Yeah. It's week going into week 4, and what happens? I mean, just like the Rams. So I don't think the Rams is going to be a defense that anyone's going to figure out. I said that they were going to have one of the best. I thought that they were going to have one of the best defenses in the league this year. So far, holding true. That's not a defense that I don't think anyone's going to be able to figure out. The Lions are just waking up, man. They're just waking up right now. Every year, it's like by week 4, usually that's when everything starts to cook. Well, week 1, you had the old turd nugget, from the offense. Couldn't get really anything going. Defense played like crap too. The next week, I mean, just who would have thought that we could have followed up the week before with a performance like we did in Baltimore? I'm so kicking myself for not going to this game, but honestly, it was good to be in last night at home. But week 4 is like when the Lions usually have both sides, rocking and rolling. That's kind of been the theme the last few seasons. Not to say that we, don't drop a game here or there or don't have a quasi, average outing, but at least it seems like they start to have things in somewhat of a ship-shape fashion where both sides seem to be complimenting each other, and things get rolling. Hold on a sec.
Hey, Salty Pork Chops in the chat says, anyone else sick of the national pundits coming up with excuses for why the Ravens lost? I'm sick of it. Not, hey, the Lions had a great game, but everything being talked about is dissecting the Ravens. Yeah, it's always that way, man. Listen, the Detroit Lions put this out this year. Where does it say it? Where do I got it here? It's got to say it somewhere. It's hunting season because the Lions are hunting again. They're not the hunted this year. They're the hunters. They're the underdogs this year, and they're going to be the underdogs. And for some reason, the national media has made them this. I don't know, the sappy. Oh, we lost our coordinators. We're not going to be any good. They just have this narrative that is completely lazy and is total hogwash. Watch. The Detroit Lions, after this win, are going to move up in the standings in all of the power rankings. We're going to be in the top 5, top 6. You watch. We're going to move up because we beat the team that was number 1 or number 2 in a lot of the power rankings, right? I don't get the whole national pundit thing. Like every single one of them picked the Ravens last night. Every single one. So you know what that tells me? They're all wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. Keep sleeping on my Lions. Keep thinking they're not going to win the game. They're going to. They're going to win a lot of games this year.
Mr. Thomas actually heard what I said. I said that underneath my breath. Yeah. When Eric said scrubs, I said, yeah, scrub these nuts. But yeah. Sorry.
That's all right.
It looks like we might have a special guest hitting us here at about 9:10. So I'll be make sure I pay attention to the time.
Well, I would really love it if it's the guest I'm thinking of.
We'll find out, man. We'll not give it away.
Yeah. I don't know who it is, but if it's who I think it is, this is going to be a very enjoyable show.
All right, let's get into Dan Campbell for a moment and have a little media day. If you guys did not get a chance to watch the presser from last night, we'll hit it here for just a moment. Actually, how about you guys vote? You guys tell us. Do you want to watch Dan Campbell? Do you want to watch Jared Goff? I think Aiden Hutchinson was up. I'm a little mystified here if they didn't put up Al-Qadim Muhammad.
He might be in with one of the other players. They might have had him and Hutch together.
They might be. Do you guys want Dan or do you want Jared to start? I see Dan in the comments.
I vote for Jared.
Dwayne Keene says, you think the field goal was good? Was it reviewable? So I don't. It's not reviewable by the Lions because I don't think that you can't contest a score, but they're all reviewed. Every scoring play is reviewed. How they came up with that ball was good, I don't know. But the problem is if you call it good on the field, it's kind of hard to overturn. And this is where, like Eric has had a good statement last night, and it's something that I've been saying for a while. Like, we have the technology. You can put just a little flat sensor. I mean, they're literally the size of your fingernail, like just a piece of your fingernail, a sensor.
It's already in the ball.
Right. So then just carry it a little bit further.
You know what? The technology's there. I don't care what anyone says. It's there. They already have it. It already works. All the kicking balls have chips in them. All the throwing balls have chips in them. So they know where to spot the ball for that system they use now.
That's the cameras too.
Remember the old system? It's in the game.
Yeah.
Remember that slogan? Well, it's in the ball. It's there. Use the damn thing. You can do a virtual all the way up in the sky as high as you want. You don't even need the goalpost there anymore. And it can go unlimited, a mile high above each goalpost. And you can have to the millimeter whether it's good or whether it's bad.
Yeah, I think that I would love to not have goalposts because our seats are right in the center of the goalpost, which I love. That's where
Yeah.
one section of our seats are. If they didn't have the goalposts, I mean, that would just make the view that much better. But I think that fans would freak out because they would think every kick was bad.
I'm not saying take the goalpost completely away or anything. I'm just saying that take the human element out of it.
Yeah, as much as possible.
You are a multi-billion dollar. They're talking about making $32 billion per season. That's $1 billion a team.
And so they
That
can't,
is their
they
goal.
can afford $1 million a team to put some sort of a system in.
Oh, dude, it's already there.
And if they're paying $1 million, look, sign me up. I'll do it for $777 all day.
They're already there. It's already working. They already know.
All right, let's get into Dan Campbell here. Be right back. Mr. DC.
That was a good win. Proud of the guys.
Good win.
But really, we talked about playing complementary football, and at every point in this game, at any point, every point, however you want to say it, we were going to need each other to find a way to win this game. You know, the offense was going to need the defense to pick it up. Special teams was going to need the offense to pick it up, and vice versa. So, man, I thought we played complementary football. We did exactly what we said we needed to do. We were able to corral Lamar. We didn't let Henry get going and Zay Flowers. You know, we came away with takeaways and big stops. And offensively, we were able to control the ground and the time of possession, and our receivers and Goff made plays in critical moments in this game. I just thought it was an outstanding team effort, man. I was proud of the players. I was proud of the coaches. I thought Shep and Johnny and Phip both did a hell of a job in this game, or all of them did a hell of a job. So it's just a huge win.
You guys never had one here in franchise history on four. Was it a statement win for you guys that show that we can compete with the league's elite, you know, with these guys as well? Like, what does victory do for you?
Well, look, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Harbaugh and this team and those players that are over there, and we know what they've been for years, for a number of years. They're always competitive, and they're always the cream of the crop over there in the AFC, with a few teams. And so to be able to come in here on a Monday night at their place with those weapons, that type of team, that's a good win for us, I don't know, statement, all this and that, but it just feels good to know against a type of team like that, you play a different type of game and you're able to find a way to win. So one of the things I mentioned early in this year is I told the team I want to find out how many different ways we can win games, because the better you get at winning, the more you win. So that took everything we had, and I was proud of the players.
The way you did it too, Dan. I mean, you talked about physicality. Some of your coaches did too. About what happened last time you came in here. You controlled the line of scrimmage, the sacks you had on Lamar, the long scoring drives. What did that mean to do it your way?
I think it means a lot. I mean, it's those guys. You don't have to say much. I mean, we got enough guys that were here the last time, and they also know. Yeah, I mean, you got to be blind not to see what that team does and how they play, and the physicality, the toughness, the nature of everything they're about, their identity. That you better be ready. You better be ready. You can't come in here and tiptoe. So we were ready. And like I say, it was a big win. It took every one of us. And I just thought the players, man, they stepped up and made huge plays at critical times.
You talked about corralling Lamar. Lots of question marks with Marcus obviously being out here, but you racked up 7 sacks. I think that's tied for a career high with Lamar, and really contained him out of the pocket all day long. How proud were you of that defensive effort up front with your front 7, especially getting after you?
Very proud, very proud. I mean, a number of guys stepped up, but I think something we worked on look, Wednesday, we had Malik running quarterback, and he had he had a big day of practice, and he had a big day, and it opens your eyes a little bit. You coach it up, you tweak a couple of things, Shep and those guys. You come out Thursday and it's better, but we're still like, man, this guy's running around and we can't get him contained. And then by Friday, man, you're pretty good. And so I felt really good about what we were going to be able to do. The rest is just wait until Monday night to see it go, see it in action. But those guys were very disciplined. They played off each other. They casted the net. They closed the net. We didn't have anybody jumping up in the air, diving, ill-advised diving. Man, they all bottled him up. They were disciplined, and guys made, huge plays, and he had nowhere to go, and that's the key. So that takes an enormous amount of discipline for your guys, and they did that. I mean, across the board, all of them.
What does it do for the confidence of a football team when you can string together two 95-yard drives on the road like that?
It's big. It's big. You know, that's not easy to do when you're backed up like that. And normally the goal is 3 first downs. You know, that way you get 3 first downs, you're able to flip field position. And now but to go above and beyond that and travel the distance against, that opponent, the crowd noise, the whole thing, man, that was impressive, you know. And our guys had to dig now. They had to dig. Those are long drives. But, they did it, man. They did it.
Morgan said you wanted to have your guys, you said that you wanted your guys to win different ways, but like the old Tom Evansky baseball tapes, I guess, if there's a Dan Campbell how to coach, how to win a football game, is that right there, the MO, is that the DVD handed out?
Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. I guess it would be pretty close to that. But it was also, this is the type of game. This is the type of game that was needed for this opponent. Not everyone is going to always be the same. You'd love to say, it's always going to be that type, and you got to play this way. But all of them are different, and some games it takes more explosives. You got to get more explosives than it does just true groundwork. The ground sets it up, and defensively you got to play a little different. But it was what was needed against this team for this opponent. And I thought the guys handled it perfectly. Hold on a minute. Go ahead.
In the middle, John, then Sean.
You mentioned the offensive being in tough field position. The defense was kind of put in some tough spots as well.
Yeah.
How encouraging is that to be able to stop the Ravens offense when they were put in some good positions themselves?
It's very encouraging, and I go back to this. It was just one of those points. It's easier said than done, but at some point, we're going to need one or two of the units to step up for the other one, and it wasn't a full game of that, but it was enough to where we stepped up and made plays. Hutch made some huge plays. Muhammad made huge plays. Jack Campbell, Reed. I mean, we can go down Goff, Saint, freaking Demo, that old line, Sewell. I mean, we just at different times in critical moments, our guys stepped up, and when we needed it most, every unit picked up the slack, and that's what winning teams do. That's what they do.
John? Dan, with the performance with 7 sacks, how much momentum can the defense get after a performance like that, especially with all the talk on the outside about the lack of sacks in the pass rush?
Well, I mean, we
Hold on, I got to rewind that.
Performance with 7 sacks.
Stepped up, and when we Jack Campbell, Reed. I mean, we can go down Goff, Saint, freaking Demo, that old line, Sewell. I mean, we just at different times in critical moments, our guys stepped up, and when we needed it most, every unit picked up the slack, and that's what winning teams do. That's what they do.
John? Dan, with the performance with 7 sacks, how much momentum can the defense get after a performance like that, especially with all the talk on the outside about the lack of sacks in the pass rush?
Well, I mean, we know what we got here. We don't need, anybody telling us what we do or don't have, or, I mean, I thought you were going to ask me about motioning today. I felt like but we feel good about it, man. We feel good about it, and look, it takes everybody doing their job, and our guys did that, so it was good.
Sean?
Dan, it's one thing to go from 4th down there. This is probably your culture at this point, but to call that down the field like that, just can you speak to the belief, confidence you had? I guess putting in your two best offensive players, well, along with Sewell. Yeah.
Well, I think, man, I got a tremendous amount of trust in those guys, and that's been built up now in 5 years, right? And that helps. And that offensive line, the way they were playing, and we just felt like that was the right call. And it's those guys, it's the players, man. They're the ones who make this stuff come to life. And they've earned that trust, and they just, once again, man, they step up and make huge plays at critical times. And it's unbelievable. It really is. It's a thing of beauty, man.
One
more real quick in the middle.
Aiden Hutchinson on the strip of Derrick Henry looked like he got upfield and was able to recover, high effort play. Then he gets Lamar on the next play. When you have your stars giving that much effort deep into tough physical games, how does that spread among the rest of that group?
Well, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. Our hardest workers are our best players. It's not lip service. It's not fake. It's not our best players are our hardest workers. Go out and watch them practice, and it's like that every day. And so that's the standard. That's the standard. So if you're not up to that standard with the effort matching what our best players do, then you're not going to be around here very long. So that makes the rest of your guys, everybody just falls in line. Anybody that comes in or we acquire, the young guys, all of it, man. And that's the way we play. That's what we do.
With Litter Robot, I never have to scoop your litter box again. It must be a dream.
I wish they didn't play those ads like right
Which
away.
means I can teach my cat to play
It's almost
chess.
impossible for me to stop it. All right. I think I got it stopped now.
Dan Talica.
Dan, what is that? What? Say it again?
Because Dan likes Metallica, you know? Dan Talica.
I've never heard anybody say that before. That should probably be a t-shirt.
Yeah, Robert Corsini just put that in the chat. MCDC.
I might have to make a t-shirt now today.
Yeah, we should make it look like the Master of Puppets, you know?
Uh-huh.
Album cover with Dan Talica and have it say Dan Talica. Oh, dude, I could seriously do that. That'd be cool.
Big shout out this morning. Man, the mods make the world go round is my post in there for you guys. If you would please kindly give our mods a huge thank you this morning. They show up every day. They do a good job at making sure you guys have a good community. And there's only a few rules, and they do a wonderful job at making sure that everybody tries to stay in line. You have your First Amendment rights. Don't worry about that. It's just we try to make this a fun, enjoyable community, even though it's not for kids, because I get an occasional mouth at times, which I think everybody does. We try to do a really good job at making sure you guys can come in here and enjoy it and not have to worry about people, biting at you and picking on you or, talking crap to you. Have some fun debates. Absolutely have some fun debates. But let's be adults. And they do a great job at that. So thank you this morning to everybody. And just keep doing what you do, man. Dan Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what I said about this last night, but I think one of the things that I took away was one of the first things that he said. I want to find different ways to win. Like, he's curious on how many different ways that they can win. And he makes a great statement there. Like, if you can win in a bunch of different ways, you can win a lot of football games. Has that not been the case? I mean, when you look at how we're winning, it seems like we're doing something different in these big games. Just about every year, you see something different. This was probably the first game that... Oh, we got a call coming in. Hold on a sec. This is Rockhound Detroit Lions. Who do I have on the line?
How you guys doing today? It's Raw.
Doing good. Is this Bees? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning, man.
Sir.
How are you today?
Not too bad, man. Having a great morning, great evening. Just doing great all around now.
Absolutely. Let me finish my thought real quick. Give me 2 seconds. So what I was saying about Dan is, it seems like in every big game that we're in, they're finding different ways to win. And I was going to finish it with this. Last night was like the first time I've really seen us use a spy. And it worked. And I know I've said it a couple of times already since last night. I can't wait to get into the film today and look at what changed. That will be a huge change out of this defense and this team to make some changes in game and to get off of the script. So I'm excited about that. I thought it was a great statement. All right. So what's on your mind this morning, man? What's happening?
Well, I think a lot of the defensive game plan was tailored around stopping Lamar. and Derrick Henry. And the unsung hero of the game, I think, Muhammad played amazing. He did. Aiden Hutchinson came on at the end of the game there. Brian Branch kind of got eaten up with the tight ends. I think the unsung hero of the game there goes to Jack Campbell. And the reason why I say that is I posted that in chat there. There's not a whole lot of linebackers you got over 240 pounds. Jack Campbell happens to be one of them. And on numerous occasions, he stood Derrick Henry up by himself in the open field. Derrick Henry had that nice run in the first quarter. Jack Campbell got blocked with a guard slipping downfield. But other than that, like, Derrick Henry's a monster. He's almost 260 pounds. Jack Campbell held his own against him. He's not like me, but like a lot of the other linebackers are this year and in previous years where teams are going faster rather than size. They want the speed aspect. And Jack Campbell just played a hell of a game and stood his ground, stood tall with his chin up, and he rocked on.
Yeah, I think that Jack Campbell played a hell of a game. And again, I really have to go back to the film today to see how good he played. But he got smacked in the mouth last night. I guess he cut his cheek wide open pretty bad. So they put tape on it. They did all sorts of stuff to keep him in the game. But nothing took him out of the game. I remember a play last night where he took Lamar Jackson. He took Lamar Jackson and just threw him like a rag doll. And Trevor Nowatzki did the same thing. And I have not seen a linebacker do that to Lamar Jackson ever. In all the years that I've been watching NFL, I've never seen Lamar get thrown around like that. So it's, to your point about having a linebacker that's plus 240, I think that Jack is 6'5", 250, 257, somewhere in that range. He is a dying breed of linebackers that used to be the prototypical size, anything over 6'3" and in that 250 range. And today, what you have is 6 foot, 6'1" guys in that 225 range. So they're lighter, they're faster, they're more mobile to cover the tight ends and the running backs, but they don't have the size anymore that you used to see. And then we have a little bit of those hybrid linebackers as 3-4 outside linebackers that also play up on the line. And again, that's your Micah Parsons size. It's just, he's playing a different style of football. Jack is like old school mentality mixed with new school scheme, and I love it. I love what he's doing. Perfect pick by Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, and he's having a hell of a year, man, already.
Yeah, you see highlights like Henry's going on 10 plus years in the league, and you see highlights every year of him throwing linebackers around, DBs, safeties with one arm, and he didn't get that highlight on our defense because Jack Campbell stood him up.
Yeah. Eric, you could actually hear him this morning. Do you have any questions for Bees?
Yeah, I can hear. I was doing something in the background.
Okay.
I want you to check your email.
All right.
Because I got a surprise for everybody.
All right. Do you have anything you want to talk about with Bees here, though?
Yeah. So Jack Campbell in the defense. Man, what a game last night. What did you think of Al-Qadim Muhammad?
I think.
Are you still disappointed like everyone else that we don't have Smith?
No. Our defensive line is a schematic defensive line. And I think they last year really attested to that with the injuries we had, and to not to throw him under the bus, but Muhammad was on his couch. Like he said in his post-game locker room speech, he was on his couch last year. We called him up. He answered the bell. He came in. He played hard. He earned a spot on this roster for this year. He came into this game. He balled out. They couldn't contain him. Ronnie Stanley's a good left tackle in the league. He's a little older, but he's still a good left tackle. And Muhammad was, at some points, just having his way with him. The power rush was there. The finesse moves were there. The bend on the edge was there. He was playing smart heads-up football. He had the contain locked up on Lamar. Lamar couldn't scramble outside of those hash marks because we were playing a solid contain. The defensive line was disciplined. The DTs weren't getting too much push up the field, but they were there at a reasonable space in case Lamar wanted to make a move inside. So everybody was kind of keeping their head on a swivel, and I don't want to say they were playing a spy because they were still getting after him, but they were kind of reserving themselves and only getting that 2 or 3 yard push past the line of scrimmage, and then they were kind of holding their ground, waiting to see what Lamar was going to do. So we weren't over pursuing him at any particular point in the game, and then letting him break contain with his athleticism